Yo guys, hello and welcome back to episode 18 of the Redbull Academy Career Mode here at Singapore. Another sprint weekend. If you did miss the last episode out in Baku and Madrid, go and check that out before you get any spoilers. It's the last time out in Madrid and Baku. Unfortunately, we DNF'd in Madrid and only got P9 in a chaotic Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So only 2 points from 2 rounds. So we're looking to make that up this time out in Singapore. Went for a banker lap in qualifying. Not great lap though, but we're nearly a second up on our second run in Q1, or SQ1 I should say, and we're going to cross the line and it's going to be P10. And fortunately, we are going to be through into SQ2. So a much better start to the weekend this time out. First run in SQ2. Bit of a scruffy lap, not going to lie, but we're going to cross the line again here and it's going to be P13. And that is going to be it for the session. So unfortunately out in SQ2. Not ideal,
Off the
but
back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Russell, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Piastri, Hadjar, Sainz, Albon, and Fernando Alonso. Hamilton, Lindblad, Richards, and Bottas, Gasly, Behrman, Esteban Ocon, and Nico Hülkenberg, Stroll, Perez, Colapinto, and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find. And joining me in the commentary box.
So a decent qualifying session here for the sprint race at Singapore. Quite a hard circuit to overtake on. If you did watch my Minardi, my team episode around here, yeah, the overtaking was not ideal, but hopefully we can do a little bit better today here for the Racing Bulls boys. And we've got 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go here on the medium compound tyres. In an overcast Singapore, no torrential rain this time, but we're going to go into turn 1, not picking up any places. Have our teammate actually on the inside of us as we're going to look around the outside of Lewis Hamilton into turn 2, but fortunately for the Ferrari man, he manages to hold that position. A little bit bunched up into the corner on towards the straight here. In the slipstream, got the battery on, but we're not making up too much ground. We're going to have a little look down the inside though as Hamilton's slightly boxed in. Little bounce over the curb, but we managed to hold the position. Having to brake very heavily as to not run into the back of Fernando Alonso there in the Aston Martin. A little bit of a squeeze on the apex, but we managed to get up into P10. So actually not a bad start here for myself and the Racing Bulls boys. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to overtake now after lap 1. And that is the case. We do not make up any more positions. And that is the end of the sprint race. End of lap 10. We are still in P10. Fernando and Hamilton not managing to even put a move on us. So, yeah, good defence and driving. And that's going to be P10. No points.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So Max Verstappen wins the sprint race here in Singapore, extending his championship lead by a further 8 points here. Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris also on the podium. Decent start from us in that race, but not able to get any points, unfortunately. So moving in to Q1 here. And we're going to go through the final few corners, and it's only P16. So very tight. And unfortunately, that means we are going to be out here in Q1. P20 on the grid, so we're going to have to do some serious overtaking if we want any chance of getting some decent points here. for the main race.
See how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen starts on pole, and starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Antonelli, Charles Leclerc and Piastri, Hamilton, Hadjar, Sainz and Alex Albon, Gasly, Perez, Arvid Lindblad and Bottas, Ocon, Colapinto, Ollie Behrman and Fernando Alonso, Richards, Stroll, Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me for the first time this...
So promoted to P19 due to Gabriel Bortoleto picking up a penalty. And yeah, we're going to have to do some serious overtaking in this one if we want any points. Very difficult to overtake around here. Going to go for the one stop, starting on the hard compound tyres, going towards the mediums towards the end of the race. Going to dump a load of the fuel out. And yeah, we're going to send it. Got nothing to lose here as we have 5 red lights for the second time here this weekend. And it's lights out and away we go. Decent launch off the grid on the harder compound tyres. Cars all around us, going to be careful into turn 1 around the outside of Fernando Alonso. Both the Hasses actually rubbing against each other up into turn 1. Fortunately, we managed to thread the eye of a needle between Alonso and Behrman, and we get up into P17, making up 2 places off the line. Esteban Ocon up next. Can we get a decent run on the straight in the slipstream? Battery on again. Not really gaining though. We're going to have to make an audacious move, and we are. Going to go down the inside on the Hassman, get the job done nicely. Again, going to go aggressive up the inside of Franco Colapinto. In the Alpine, we get the job done, hold it round the outside. And a nice move there, up into P15. Our teammate, Arvid Lindblad and Valtteri Bottas ahead now. So let's see what we can do about them two. But moving on towards the mid stages of lap 9 now, and we're still cooped up behind Valtteri Bottas, but not for much longer. We have finally had enough. We're going to send it down the inside of the Cadillac man and try and chase down our teammate. Yeah, overtaking around here is not ideal, especially with the setup and all that. I mean, for me anyway, it's just not as simple as that. But Kimi Antonelli, towards the end of lap 11, makes a mistake in the final sector. We pick up an extra position, so no complaints there. But we're just about managing to hold on to Arvid Lindblad as the safety car gets deployed from Antonelli, and this is terrible for us. Our teammate is directly in front of us. We try and be a little bit cheeky on the pit entry, but unfortunately that backfires for us. Nearly get overtaken by Bottas, but this is going to mean we're going to have to wait behind our teammate. It's the start of lap 13. It's the lap that it's a little bit early for us actually on the hard compound tyres, but the tyre wear is not too bad around here. So going to go on to the mediums now. Everyone else going to the softs by the looks of it. Very weird from them, but we've gone down all the way into P21 after being held by a teammate. That doesn't happen very often. But yeah, that's not an ideal situation for us. So all them places we made up, we're going to have to make up yet again. Basically last in this Grand Prix. Let's see what we can do on the restart behind Franco Colapinto. A little bit of a gap into turn 1, but the field are going to bunch up at some point this lap, so we're going to take a nice wide line, try and set the switch back up. A little bounce over the curb though, so not ideal. And we have to wait until halfway through the lap, where we're going to send it up the inside of Colapinto into the hairpin. Very audacious, nearly collected the back of the Alpine there, but good move. One place anyway. Kimi Antonelli, we're going to send out the inside of him as well. Not taking any prisoners at this stage of the race. After his little mistake earlier, we have capitalised and we've got ahead of the Mercedes man. Bortoleto Alonso up next. Halfway through lap 16, just after the hairpin, we take a wide line again to get a decent run on the Audi man. And we're going to have a little look up the inside again, sending it and making the move stick nicely. Mediums feel quite good around here actually, compared to the hards, a little bit more grip. And yeah, with all the lifting and just going slow behind all these guys, it's helping us save our tyres. Sending out the inside of Alonso now, just towards the end of the first sector. Get the job done. His teammate Lance Stroll up next. And then a slight little gap between himself and Carlos Sainz, so hopefully we can dispatch the Aston man nice and quick. He's quite slow at the moment though. We're going to get a decent run out of the final corner, having to brake actually, as the Aston is not having a good time, but we're going to feint to the inside and we're going to commit to the inside this time into turn 1, getting the job done nicely. Got a nice little gap now to sort of drive into. Hopefully we can find some pace around here and potentially get up to the back of the Williams man, but start at lap 20, a lot of the soft runners are starting to pit, and that promotes us up into P7, and then a lap later we actually get more pit stops and we are in the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix, everyone having to stop. So basically going from last to first after that safety car. On the medium tyres, they're still feeling okay. We're now debating, do we try and stay out until the end of the Grand Prix? Tyre wear is not as bad as maybe expected at the start, but we've got Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell, all behind us, going to be fighting for this win if we do stay out. But I think we've got no choice. If we box now, we're going to have to overtake a load more people, be in some traffic, and yeah, I think the option, or the better option I should say, is to stay out and try and fight. It's quite hard to overtake around here, but as you can see, tyre wear's not that bad. We would definitely get to the end of the Grand Prix, but like Baku, this track is a little bit rear limited. The traction is very important off corners like this, the hairpin, but I think we're going to gamble. We've got nothing to lose in this race, and why not? So moving on to the start, lap 23 now, and Max Verstappen has managed to catch up to us as Oscar Piastri actually retires from the Grand Prix. Verstappen launched it down the inside. Tyre wear, we're just not able to hold it around the outside, but we're going to have a little look down the inside, try and get the position back off our series rival. Verstappen tries to push us out wide though, we squeeze him to the apex. But yeah, it makes a little bit of contact with us. We were slightly ahead, so yeah, very interesting driving from Verstappen, but there's no team orders yet though. We haven't had any team orders since Bahrain at the start of the season. Verstappen is fighting for that championship, of course, but we ourselves, we're fighting for that Red Bull seat next season, so we need to put the best numbers up we can. Verstappen's going to go round the outside. We're going to hold the inside, go a little bit deep into the corner, but fortunately for us, Verstappen backs out and we hold the position. Now moving on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, he still hasn't managed to get past. We've got one more lap to try and hold on. The tyres are very worn right now. We're trying to prioritise the exits. We've got a full battery to unload on this final lap. There's only a few proper overtaking zones left for Verstappen to try and get past. Alex Albon has actually managed to get up into P3, but Verstappen's going to look for the overtake nice and early. He's going to go down the inside. We squeeze him to the apex, give him plenty of room on the inside. Fortunately for us, he sort of backs out mid-corner and we are all good for now. Whew. Getting tense on the final lap here in Singapore. A very long race this one, and we have managed to hold him up for, well, about 10 laps now, and every single lap has been quite intense. But we're nearly there. We're half a lap away. Verstappen is maybe going to have a look down the inside, but we cover the middle of the track nicely. Now it's all about getting the last few exits here. Verstappen doesn't look quite close enough, so we are able to take the race in line. And there's only one more proper straight now. Get decent exits straight on the battery. We can afford to burn all of this. And Verstappen is going to have a little look, is he? We're going to go defensive to the middle of the track. We take the race in line. Verstappen sticks his nose up the inside. We leave plenty of room, but we're just far enough ahead to hold the position. And we're going to go through the final corner and we're going to win the Singapore Grand Prix. Amazing result for the boys.
Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations. Well done.
What a great race it's been then. Another classic Singapore Grand Prix. And they've held on to take the checkered flag here today.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing. Next time, they might consider making it easier for themselves, but today, we absolutely loved all the action that we got to see out there.
And it's time now for the podium celebrations, and how well-deserved is this one? This is a team all about giving talented young drivers an opportunity to race and to win. Racing Bulls, the old winners, here today. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action, but with more racing.
What an amazing result for the Racing Bulls boys. 25 points and our third win of the season here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri, the only DNF. Arvid Lindblad actually managing to pick up 6 points as well. But yeah, it's going to do some good things for the championship, up into P6 in the drivers, still P5 in the constructors. Still in no man's land, but Max Verstappen still top of the championship, 18 points for him. Good weekend for the Red Bull franchise, if you like. And after the race, it is confirmed for Season 2, we will be having a regulation change. The chassis and the durability department will be under scrutiny, so we're going to have to use our resource points and adapt a whole load of upgrades that we have done this season. Apparently, we are like the second worst car on the grid for whatever reason. I do not think that's very accurate, but hey-ho, hopefully we can get them adapted for next season. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me here at Singapore. Please like, please subscribe. Trying to hit 500 subs before the end of the year. And yeah, have a good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much. And cheers.